Star Wars geek girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.
All right, so whenever you guys are ready.
I want to bring that for the table, and I didn't want to leave it over there.
Is there anyone after us? I need to part my wig right then. Is it 1 o'clock? Oh, okay. That's this one? Hello? Is it on?
Hello?
Is it on?
It says it is. Hello?
Oh, there you go. Yes, you got talking to that.
It was muted.
Go ahead.
Take it away.
Alright, hi, my name is Zoe Hinton. I have the Star Wars Geek Girl podcast with my co-host Lizzie, but she's out in Anaheim, so...
I'm not Lizzie.
No, you're not
No.
Lizzie.
And I'm Kaden Stetler. I am the founder of Rebel Cause. We are a Star Wars themed charity, and I also am the host of Rebel Chatter podcast.
So this is just sort of a general Star Wars kind of panel. We're not super specific. We're not being super specific about any one part of Star Wars because there's a million. Well, I do think we want to talk about the Mandalorian, I think is what we said.
Yeah, absolutely. Mandalorian.
Obviously, I'm a Mandalorian with my helmet.
Okay, come a little closer. Yeah, let's get in.
Okay. So we mostly talking about the Mandalorian because the trailer came out for that at D23, which
Yeah.
was just like a couple weeks ago.
I know. What was your first reaction to all that?
My first reaction was, oh, I saw that already at Star Wars Celebration.
Oh, okay. I was not there, unfortunately. Mike didn't take me with you guys. Looking at you. No. But it looks amazing, honestly. I'm excited for this new chapter of Star Wars we're getting where, I mean, it's already started, but these Star Wars stories that take place outside of, the Skywalker saga, it's just so cool to see, like, the other side of the galaxy, basically. We have caught glimpses of, like, the scum and villainy and all that stuff, but now to have a focus on that, being our main character is a bounty hunter, looks pretty awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, and I think, like, the Mandalorian is, like obviously everyone's always really loved Mandalorians, but we never got, like, outside of, like, the old EU that's no longer canon, we never got too much of a focus on them. Like, obviously in Clone Wars, we had, like, some arcs about them, and then Sabine had her part in season 3 and 4 of Rebels that focused on Mandalore. But to, like, solely focus, like here's a Mandalorian, it's about him being a Mandalorian and being a bounty hunter, and I think that's really cool, because people like to talk about, like, how Boba Fett and Jango Fett are super cool, and they are, but they didn't do much in their movies, so...
I mean, Jango did a ton more than Boba Fett ever
Yeah.
did. I mean, Boba has, like, a collective minute of screen time and just kind of, he nods once and then he falls in a Sarlacc pit. But, I'm excited to see more of the Mandalorian culture because, I mean, even just in the trailer and the little clip we got, we hear, like, words like Beskar and stuff like that. It's like, oh, cool, like, I'm hoping to see something with the Darksaber pop up again. I know I'm sure you do too, but...
That would mean bringing, because Bo-Katan, unless something happened to her between Rebels and, between the end of Rebels and when Mandalorian starts, which is after Return of the Jedi, unless something happened to Bo-Katan that we don't know about, she should still have the Darksaber right now. So that would mean bringing her into live action, which I think would be really cool.
I think they should do more of that, bringing animated characters in. But
To a degree. There's some characters I don't want to see live action. Like Zeb and Lasat in general, I think would be very scary.
Yeah, it would.
Just like some, not all of them, but some characters I'd love to see in live action.
Yeah, for sure. I see the interesting part is with that taking place 5 years after the fall of the Empire, we're in a really interesting point in the galaxy as well because the last time we saw was just Bo-Katan taking control of Mandalore, or, well, not even Mandalore, just the Mandalorian people again. So, like, Mandalore was still occupied the last time we saw it. So I'm sure Mandalore's in a pretty bad place at this point, you know.
Well, yeah, because it's 5 years. So the Empire is officially, with the Aftermath series of books, the Empire is officially dead.
Yeah.
I mean, officially, like, there's still remnants, but in general, they're dead.
Yeah.
And they're not, as far as they know, not coming back. So the New Republic is trying to build itself and establish its hold on the galaxy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you've read the books, you know that Mon Mothma is trying to demilitarize already. So they're not having as much success as they could be. So it's like a really interesting point, and I wonder how much they'll explore that, or if they'll focus more on like the scum and villainy. Which obviously they will focus on that. But.
Yeah, I hope it starts with like him being just a bounty hunter and like real anti-hero type of character, and then he kind of gets sucked into maybe liberating Mandalore and becoming more of a hero character rather than just a bounty hunter.
I could see maybe like, because Sabine in season 1 and 2 of Rebels, she still obviously like takes pride in being Mandalorian. She still wears her armor and talks about it, but she's not super like into Mandalore anymore.
Patriotic about Mandalore,
because she's sort of been exiled like by her family. So then but then over time we see her getting more involved and more prideful of Mandalore. So I could see him going through maybe a similar arc.
That is the interesting thing about Mandalorians that we're finding out now is they're obviously super family oriented is what we see. And like the other lone Mandalorian we see, Sabine, there's something happened there. And this guy's by himself too. So I wonder if there's like a family relation there. And we don't even know who he is. He's just the Mandalorian, which is interesting.
He has very cool armor though.
He's a very man with no name, like Clint Eastwood type of character. And part of me hopes it stays that way too.
Yeah.
It'd be cool to like never know who he was.
Yeah, because part of me wants him to be like maybe he's related to the Wrens or the Anyos or the Fets maybe somehow. But then I also like kind of want him to just like nope, don't talk. Like that's not who I am.
Yeah, be his own character.
Yeah.
And yeah. It's always cool to tie it in, but like with where Star Wars is now compared to where it was before Disney, it's so small. You know, we knew of like a million factions of Mandalorians, and you know, there was lore for not days, for years that you could just read up on stuff, and it's going to be cool to see where the story takes this character from, you know, just being a gunslinger to, I'm sure they'll have some sort of hero arc for the character.
Yeah. I personally wonder if, because like obviously Sabine, even though Sabine was born in like the middle of the Clone Wars, so obviously she wasn't really old enough to remember Maul on Mandalore.
Yeah.
But she still had she still knew that history, and we see when she meets Maul, she knows like who he is and what he's done. So I think it'd be cool because Maul died on Tatooine in Rebels.
Yeah.
So I think, speaking of Mandalorians,
we got some Mandos coming in now. Oh, we're getting surrounded.
Hello.
What's going on?
What is this?
We come to make your day.
Can you hear me? Oh, that's kind of loud. Hello, I'm Vivek Trinky. I'm the Alorad for the Mavoila clan of the Mandalorian Mercs Costume Club, or the official Pennsylvania Costume Club. We have a special delivery for you, Zoe. Greetings, Zoe. Congratulations on earning your kill stripes as an official member of the Mandalorian Mercs Costume Club. You're now a member of the world's largest and oldest Mandalorian costume organization, standing alongside members in 68 clans around the globe. After your local Alorad brought me your story, I took some time to learn a little bit about you and how much Star Wars is a part of your life. To be such a great ambassador for something so many around the world love is a special thing. And in my T-Visor, you have earned your place of honor among the members of MMCC. The MMCC Charter grants the Mandalore certain executive powers of membership discretion. You would be one of less than a handful in 13 years to earn such an honor, and I look forward to your bright future among the Mandalorian faithful. All the best, and this is signed from Tom Hutchins, Mandalore the Uniter, the founder and CEO of the Mandalorian Mercs Costume Club.
Yeah.
This is one of the patches of our clan, and we are happy to have you as a member of our group.
Congrats, Rod. Congrats. Good job, Rod.
Put your helmet on, we get some pictures with you real
yeah.
fast, and then we'll let you get back to
Okay.
podcasting.
Hey,
So,
podcast world.
can I have my helmet? Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Hold on. Do me a favor. Hold this. And just get a picture of me shaking your hand. Hey, we're posing for pictures. Okay, let's just get some pictures now. Just hang with us and get a few pictures. Can you get all buckets off? Yes.
Keep Don's on. It's all right. I make up for it because I'm ridiculously good looking.
Yeah, that's what you keep telling yourself.
Well, it works. All right, it's enough dead air for the
All right,
podcast.
yes, we can get back to podcasting now, so.
Congrats, Bob.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats, Alex.
Thank you.
Your dad has a copy of this letter as well, and I'm going to email it to him too.
Okay,
So, because I
thank you.
just kind of printed it up on real crappy paper.
Yeah, no,
we'll get
thank
you.
you.
We'll get you a
Yeah.
good copy of it. So,
Okay.
thank you.
And on that, we're out.
Thank you.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
What are you thinking now?
I don't know. I think. I know, right?
Gotta keep the tradition alive, right? So, so you're official.
Yeah.
What does your stormtrooper dad think about that? Good, good.
But you always told me I had to join the 501st first, right?
So that was awesome.
Yeah.
I knew that was gonna happen. That
Did
was pretty
you?
cool, yeah.
Was I the only one then?
You're the only one that didn't, yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, you got a Star Wars tattoo, so
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
come on, that's fair, right?
And I didn't spend more than $100, so
Perfect.
talk to the mic. Yeah. Should I tell my? Okay. So the tattoo, it's. I don't know if you follow me at Instagram, you could see it. But sorry, it's Harrison Dula from Rebels. She has tattoos on her leku, and so it's that design, but I got it on my back. And then I was gonna actually, because I turned 18 on Thursday, and then I had class, so I got the tattoo Friday. I would have loved to get it on my birthday, but I got it Friday. And then I was gonna, because I was coming home Saturday to come do this con, and I was gonna show my parents on Saturday. But then my dad called me when I was on the subway back to my dorm, and he was like, "So what'd you do today?" And I was like, "Well, I can't lie." So I was like, "I got a tattoo."
And what was his reaction?
I don't think he believed me at
No.
first. He's like, but he laughed. And he was like, "Yeah, just make sure you tell your mother." And I was like, "I know." And then, so when I was walking home, I called my mom because the subway station is really loud, and I told her I got a tattoo, and I thought she wasn't mad, but I thought she was mad. She goes, "Are you kidding me?" And I was like, "Oh no," but Safi didn't. I texted Safi. I called Safi and my sister, and I said, "Hey, I got a tattoo," and she said, "No, you didn't. You're lying." So I sent her a picture. But yeah.
We got Safi a tattoo too, Mike. Is that cool? Yeah, one a week, yeah. Yeah, so I mean, I'm the same way. I have Star Wars tattoos all over. And so was it always your plan to get a Star Wars related tattoo first?
I came up with that tattoo idea when I was 15 in chemistry class. I was really bored, and I thought of the idea, and I was like, well, I know what I'm doing when I turn 18. So, yeah, I've been planning it for a very long time, but I kept it. I never said anything because I didn't want anyone to steal my idea. I was like,
Yeah.
you can get the tattoo now, but I want to be the first one to get that tattoo.
Yeah, exactly. You got to set the trend.
Yeah.
So, all right, so back to Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Now that you're an official Mandalorian,
Yeah. Mandalorian, what were we?
let's talk
Oh.
about the process of what it takes to become a Mandalorian.
So, well, so I already had the armor for a while because I just wasn't old enough to join. And then we went to Marty, who's a friend of ours and a photographer, who went to his studio, which is his house, to get the pictures taken. But we, for season 3, Sabine, I have seasons 1 and 2, but we were getting, and the epilogue, but we're getting season 3 approved. And so we got there and we realized that we had packed the wrong wig because we have the season 2 wig, which is blue and teal.
Oh, man.
But then the season 3 wig is white and purple and a different style. And we had packed the season 2 wig by accident, and we had forgotten the shoulder bells, so we couldn't do the pictures, and which would be fine, except Marty's house was like, it's like an hour drive, so we had to drive back, and it was pretty late at night because I had to come home from the train after class. And then so we took the pictures in our basement, and then we needed to fix a couple things. It's mostly just moving armor around, like it wasn't pinned right. And then we sent the pictures, and now I'm approved. So yeah.
Are there any other Mandalorian costumes you want to make? I know we were talking earlier about
Yeah.
like a custom Mando you
Yes.
thought would be cool.
Well, I do want to finish all the Sabines, because this one, I still want to have the heavy version of this with like jetpack, gauntlets, leg flares. Then we still need to do season 4 Sabine. We skipped season 4 to do the epilogue. But then I do have a custom Mando idea, and it's like a white Mandalorian, and they have like a white like fur kind of cloak, and it has like, it's decorated like a Lothwolf from Rebels. They have the gray like marks that Lothwolves have, but on their helmet, and they have like claws on the gauntlets, like really badass and stuff. That's my dream custom Mando.
That would be awesome. Yeah, I feel like the Mandalorian Mercs, the Mandalorian Mercs probably have the most freedom with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they definitely have the most like diverse. Like if you look at Mandalorian Merc group pictures, like you probably have a couple of the canon characters, but a lot of them are just like they're all doing their own thing.
Which is cool.
I still think custom clones should be a thing for the 501st. Because clones all paint their armor themselves, so I think custom clones should be a thing within reason. Like they probably don't want like the First Order logo on it.
Yeah.
But like I think custom clothes should be a thing. But that's just me. But yeah.
No, that's awesome.
Rebel Legion too, because they can make their own characters.
Yeah, Rebel
And
Legion
Saber
as well.
Guild.
Yeah.
But they're the same. They cross over.
Yeah, they
with
cross over a little
each
bit.
other.
Yeah. So what? I know you're. I guess we'll switch over to costume stuff since we're on that topic anyway.
Yeah.
You're working on some other stuff right now too, right?
Yeah, I'm not other Star Wars stuff right now.
No.
I think Sabine. Oh yeah, I'm doing the animated TIE pilot to join the 501st with my dad.
Which kind of plays into Sabine
well,
too, because she goes undercover.
Because my plan is animated TIE pilot for 501st, and then I can take the bucket off and get like the balaclava and stick some brown hair at the front, and then I'm undercover Sabine for the Rebel Legion.
Perfect.
So it works both ways.
So that's you can get certified in Rebel Legion with the undercover Sabine?
Yeah, well, there's no CRLs or it might be for undercover Sabine, but not for the animated TIE pilot. So I'd have to be a pioneer, I guess.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I think that's the other Star Wars thing we're working on.
Gotcha. Yeah, I always do I'm a cadet in the 501st. That's what it is, right, Mike? I'm considered, yeah. So I haven't really officially started anything yet. Me and Marty need to get together. He's my advisor, but I do a lot of other my own stuff, and I think that's the most fun. That's the most fun thing for me is coming to stuff like the armor parties and whatnot where we can just kind of play. I'm working on a droid right now that I started custom building myself, and it's nothing crazy, but it'll be like a cool prop for events and whatnot, And of course, I hopped on the bandwagon and I'm building a gonk droid now too. So did I tell you that, Mike? I'm working on a gonk droid.
Well,
Yeah,
you
it's
ever see the people with the costumes where they're a gonk droid, but then they're inside the costume and they have a Jawa on top. So their head and arms are the Jawa. So it looks like a Jawa is hanging on the gonk droid and they walk around.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I fell into it because I think your dad was telling me I think Toga had like a really cool gonk droid, and they were telling me it's only like $50 to build a gonk droid from the ground up. So it's like okay,
Why not?
I already had the containers,
Yeah.
and that's what it is. It's just two Rubbermaid containers put on top of each other. So
Well, and there's at Celebration Chicago, and at all Celebration, there's like a droid room, and they had a whole big thing of like just a whole bunch of like different gonk droids, and so they had like some regular gonk droids. My favorite was an Alan Tudyk gonk droid, and it was painted or taped or whatever, dressed up like it had like a what's it called? Like one of the motion capture suits, like
nice.
that like kind of pattern, and then he had like a pole sticking out the top with a cutout of Alan Tudyk's head.
Oh, nice,
Of
nice.
Alan Tudyk's head, and then it would just like say like random like lines from different Alan Tudyk roles he's played. It was very
That's
funny.
hilarious. What is it? Steve the Pirate from Dodgeball?
Yeah,
Like-
but because actually, I went to his panel, Alan Tudyk's panel at Celebration, not kind of on purpose. There was the Mandalorian panel, and then there was the Clone Wars panel in the same room, and Alan Tudyk's panel
in the
happened
middle?
to fall in between them while I was waiting for the Clone Wars panel. But it was a very fun panel, and it was him and Warwick Davis. They were
that's
they
cool.
were really funny.
yeah.
And he had like questions at the end, and I was on the top level of seats. But if I was on the bottom, I would ask him like, "Hey, did you see the gonk droid of you in the droid builder's
Yeah,
room?"
that's awesome. What's the? Okay, so how many Star Wars celebrations have you been to?
Two
Now. Okay.
There's Orlando, and then they skipped a year, and then Chicago.
Chicago.
Hopefully, we'll be making it to Anaheim. It depends on my school schedule, because the Anaheim celebration is right around the time my classes might start.
Yeah.
So as soon as Temple releases a calendar for that, I'll know.
So you've been in school for like a little over a month now, right? Or 2 months?
Almost a month.
Almost a month. Are you already known as like the Star Wars chick?
Not really.
No,
Not
you're keeping
yet.
it on the DL for now. Yeah.
Well, there's like a couple people that kind of know me as that, because I actually because they had like a convocation like welcome ceremony, which I missed to go to Keystone Comic Con to do a panel I did there, and so and I don't hide it, but like if people are like, hey, what'd you do? I'm like, I just did Star Wars, and people probably notice I've exclusively worn Star Wars shirts.
Fair
I think,
enough, yeah.
Almost exclusively. I did walk through my dorm. I walked out the hall and in the elevator, and then walked through the lobby. So
That's awesome.
that probably caught some eyes, actually.
I think they know.
I didn't think of that. Yeah.
So yeah, Keystone was down in Philly, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
You
actually.
didn't have to go far for that, huh?
No, it was because my dorm, it's Johnson Hall in Temple, so it's on Broad Street, and then to get to the convention center, I could just go on Broad Street, and you could walk, or I walked, like it was a 45-minute walk just straight down Broad Street, and then like the door's right there.
That's awesome.
Or if you're not cheap like me and don't want to spend $250 and not walk 45 minutes, you could take like a 6-minute trip on the subway of Broad Street and end
Fair.
up right there too. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, what was the most important Star Wars item you had to take with you to college?
Well, I would love to bring my helmets, but I don't have a lot of room for them, and I didn't want to like drop it from the top of a closet. Sorry, from the top of a closet. I limited myself to one Funko Pop,
Which Funko was it?
Ahsoka,
Okay,
but Clone Wars Ahsoka, not Rebels Ahsoka.
good choice.
And I think I have a plant, a little plant. Her name's Pamela, after Poison Ivy, and she lives in a Death Star shaped pot.
I did see that. Your dad 3D printed that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's a cute little pot. I have a bunch of Star Wars stuff. I have. Oh well, I got the Women of the Galaxy book that Amy Radcliffe put together. They made a set of postcards. It's all the art in that book, but on different postcards.
That's
so I
really
made
cool.
a collage. It's my
Sweet.
mom's idea, not mine.
Yeah.
But a collage of postcards in front of my desk. And I have random Star Wars things. I got a BB-8 print at Keystone.
Nice.
I think. I did. I got I actually got the Ahsoka ring. Did you see the
No, I
ring?
didn't see it.
I don't have it on me because I can't wear it with Sabine. but it's like the shape of Ahsoka, and it was like
That's
it's
really
a
cool.
really pretty ring. And then I also got for my birthday, which I still have to hang up, a big the mural that Sabine painted at the end of season 4 of Rebels. A big is it what is it? It's like just a
Tapestry, right?
big,
Yeah,
big
yeah.
tapestry to hang up. In my
That
room,
was
which I
awesome.
still need to do that.
So
Yeah, lots of little Star Wars things.
that's awesome. That's awesome. So where do you hope that Sabine goes? Like her story? Are you hoping it? Obviously, I'm sure you hope it continues.
Yes.
Do you think it'll fall into the Mandalorian at all?
I don't know, because she and Ahsoka, at the end, pretty much right after Return of the Jedi, go to the, whatever it is, region to
Unknown
look,
regions,
Yeah,
yeah.
unknown regions, to look for Ezra. So, and I think we pretty much figured out that the Mandalorian takes place on Tatooine.
Yeah.
So that's not unknown regions. So I would like to think that they've hopefully found him by now, so Sabine can come back to Tatooine and do Mandalorian things. Knowing
Do
Filoni,
Mandalorian things.
yeah, knowing Filoni, they probably have not. It's probably gonna be they searched for 12 years. So
Yeah, exactly. I'm sure he knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But he's not gonna tell us forever. I mean, what did I just see? Oh, I saw they were asking who's directing Mandalorian? Or the
Jon
head of it?
Favreau.
Favreau. They were asking Favreau if Thrawn or Mara Jade could show up in the Mandalorian, and he said that people are asking the right questions. So it's okay, so Thrawn and Ezra were together.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, I'm curious. My biggest thing with that is obviously I want to know where they went and all that. But what is the relationship between Thrawn and Ezra? Are they still enemies by the time they're out there, or
Yeah.
do they gain respect for each other while they're out there?
Yeah, I
Which I
know-
could see.
Yeah, I've only read the first of the new Thrawn books, and I haven't read any of the old ones. So my Thrawn knowledge is not as much as it could be. But I feel that I don't think Thrawn's ever gonna like Ezra. I
Yeah.
think Thrawn's definitely very angry that Ezra managed to defeat him in the most embarrassing way possible.
Mm-hmm.
So
Space-wise.
yeah. So but I think Thrawn is going to probably gain a grudging respect for Ezra.
Okay.
Because I do think he respects his enemies. He and Hera are head to head for much of the show that he's in, and he definitely seems to have a respect for her. He still tortures her and stuff. He doesn't like her, but he respects her and how she does things and
As a warrior.
Yeah, he respects her abilities, and so I think he'll sort of have that for Ezra. But I think they'll bicker a lot. I don't think they're friends.
Yeah, see, I'm weird about that because in the books, you learn it in the first one, but you kind of realize that Thrawn joins the Empire to help his people and to protect, the Chiss people in the unknown regions. And now my thing with stuff like 9 is we know the First Order is just destroying stuff in the unknown regions. Rose says about it, they just destroyed her planet and all that stuff, and that's their thing. So Thrawn wouldn't like the First Order at all, I don't think. So if they would come back, could we see Thrawn being on the side, even if it's not on the side of the Resistance, but fight with the Resistance against the First Order?
Yeah, I could see Thrawn, because much of the Resistance, at least its leaders, is old rebellion or people who were children of people who were in the rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see Thrawn looking, he's oh, they have Leia, they had Akbar, whoever. He's I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he wouldn't know Leia that well if he disappeared a year before New Hope.
Yeah, not
He would
really.
know the Organa name, at least.
Yeah, through Bail. Well,
Through Bail.
did they
Freya.
know that he was a rebel at that point?
They knew about Alderaan.
Yeah, they did.
To blow
yeah,
up.
you're right, yeah.
So I think, and Thrawn always seemed to see ahead. So he would at least know the Organa name. And Leia was a little bit involved in the couple years before.
Well, the thing with that, though, is Thrawn knew that Vader was Anakin.
Yeah.
So her being his daughter, would he respect her? Or would he... It's
But would he know about... Does he know about Luke and Leia?
Skywalker... it's pretty obvious,
But Leia doesn't take the Skywalker name.
She
and
doesn't, but it's known that Luke's her brother.
Yeah.
She just doesn't have the
Yeah,
name.
but does he know that? Because if he comes back, how much does he know? Is he gonna
I
just
feel
get
like
a
Thrawn would
recap?
just know because he would know.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting stuff to think about.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I would love to see. I don't know, Sabine. Same thing with Sabine. I would love to see her in the Mandalorian, but I feel like she should keep her helmet on because for me, like I know other people are different about this. For me personally, if they don't find someone with the exact like bone structure of this animated character, I'm gonna be like, that's not Sabine. If it doesn't sound like Tia Sakar, that's not Sabine.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
like, it's like no. So keep the helmet on. If they keep the helmet on, it's great.
If they just stick her in the armor and have the voice, that'd be perfect.
If they stick Tia Sakar and keep the helmet on, I'm
That'd
all
be
for
great.
it. Or me, I'll do it.
Oh yeah.
I'm a little shorter than Sabine, and I have to get lifts.
We're putting it out there, Favreau.
Yeah.
Give her a
I'm
call.
2 inches shorter than Sabine, but it's okay. You have money.
Your
Sorry.
dad was trying to convince me earlier to do Kaden.
You could do
The
it.
hair, I know. It's a pretty easy costume too. It's pretty much I'd have to call Sal,
Yeah.
I guess. Because
He let me put his helmet. I couldn't really wear it because my hair isn't long enough to clip it in, or it wasn't at the time at least. But he let me like put his mask on my face at Celebration Orlando. And
are there little holes in it to see?
It's almost like a transparent-ish,
Like the screen
one,
type of thing?
Yeah, it's like a one-way kind of thing. It was still hard to see out of. I couldn't see very well. I mean, I need glasses anyway. I'm blind in Sabine, but like, it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to wear Kaden's mask.
I think it'd be cool. I'd want to do like the season 3 or later.
Yeah, it's for the
because of the
for
beard.
yeah.
I look like a small child if I don't have the beard on, or a giant baby. But
Well, Kaden does too when he.
yeah. If I'm not cutting it. If Sal does it, I'll do it. What's up? Everything okay? Okay, sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely okay. So with Mandalorian, I know I'm excited to see the IG series finally.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we're talking about Boba Fett earlier not doing anything. We literally just saw IG-88 in Empire for like 2 seconds, and his head spun a little, and
Yeah.
that's all we ever saw. And then in the trailer, you're seeing him like his whole torso's rotating around, and shooting. It was cool.
He's like, it's kind of not by like the make and model. Reminds me of, like the assassin droids in Clone Wars that were like really hard to deal with because droids can do things humans can't, and because like a lot of the battle droids, like they use droids because they're like easy and expendable. But like a human could move the way a battle droid could.
Yeah.
Where like stuff like the assassin droids or like IG-88, they can do things humans can't, which makes them lethal. So I think that's cool. So I'm also excited. There's the purple Twi'lek. She's in it for like a couple seconds.
Yeah. She's in Harry Potter, that actress.
Yeah,
right?
she was in Fedora Tonks. But I'm excited for her mostly because like all of the live action movies have not had a single like colorful alien.
Yeah.
At all. Like even Solo, there was Twi'leks, but they had like human skin tones.
And there was a Rodian in that too.
Yeah, and the Rodian was like a brown tan color.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, just give me the colorful aliens.
Yeah,
you
exactly,
know?
exactly.
Like they were in the original trilogy. It's okay. So I'm glad they have this purple Twi'lek. She's my hero.
Yeah. They really haven't had too many of the original aliens yet in the sequel. Well, not even just the sequel stuff, but like the new.
Yeah, in Rogue One
films.
or in Solo either.
Yeah.
Just in like because like Rebels had like a lot of Rodians. Had Hera obviously as a Twi'lek.
Yeah.
And then Resistance has
What's his name? The green guy.
Niku.
Niku. Yeah.
Niku, he is, yeah. And then they have the one, I love the one species that they had. It started in Rebels, the first character. She was like pink and purple, and she had like the Jutiteras.
Yeah.
Her species, they've got a couple of them in Resistance.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I just love all the colors, you know?
No, it's awesome. I just watched Resistance for the first time last week.
Did
I
you
sat down and
really?
watched the whole series.
It's so good.
It is really. I was surprised because I saw it, and I do this with almost all of the animated stuff. I watched Rebels when it first came out, but I didn't watch Clone Wars for like years. Like it was about done by the time I started watching it. And I saw Resistance, and I was like, okay, this is obviously very kid focused. Like this isn't for like 10-year-olds. It's for like 5 to like 7, 8, 9. Really young kids. And so I didn't really bother to watch it. I kind of checked in on the show, like, do they do anything important to the story? Not really, whatever. But I sat down and watched it the other day, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just, you have to go in it like, this is just fun. This is going to be
Yeah.
fun, It's, like I said, it's nothing crazy impactful to the universe, but it could be.
Yeah,
Potentially. It's spoilers, I guess, for the end of the show that's about to have season 2. But the Colossus takes off, and that could be part of the new Resistance fleet.
Yeah, well,
because it's taking place at the same time.
Yeah, well, because I actually got to go to the panel at season 2.
Oh, you saw the beginning.
I saw the first episode of season 2. Safi did too. She was with me. Which the cast for Resistance, by the way, because I feel like I didn't like not know them like I know the Rebels cast, but like I don't know the Rebels cast, unfortunately. But like I felt like I had a handle on them pretty early when I was watching the show, but I didn't really like look into the cast of Resistance. So seeing them, they're just like a delightful group of people. They were very fun.
Yeah. And the guy who voices Kazuto kind of
Kazuto.
looks like he could be
he does.
Kaz, right?
They all kind of like all the main cast at least all kind of look like they could easily
That's
be
funny.
their character. It's
Let's
very
see Fireball
cool.
Squadron in the
I know.
or the Aces, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, season 2. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about the episode, but the trailer was really really cool
Yeah.
for season 2, and it looks like they're going all around.
Yeah, it's almost like that part in the Rebel season 2
Yeah.
arc where they're trying to find a base.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I hope they fall into the main Resistance quickly.
Yeah, I
though.
mean, I think because the way the timeline is that they said at D23, they like cleared it up kind of. It's like Resistance starts like shortly before Force Awakens, and then it runs through Force Awakens. And I think when it ends, we're still during Force Awakens. I think.
Yeah, Starkiller's not blown up yet.
Yeah. So then season 2, in the beginning, I think we're gonna probably finish Force Awakens, and then go into Last Jedi. I don't know if the show's gonna end before or after Last Jedi, because I'm wondering if the Rebels or if the Resistance made a call in Last Jedi for someone to come help them on Crate, and no one answered. Why didn't this group of people who are pretty much Resistance at this point? Why didn't they answer it? Like, are they doing something? Did something happen to them? Hopefully not, because at the very least, Kaz would have at least answered. And
He would have tried, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna find out more to that of why maybe people did try to come, but like I know they destroyed some of the fleet, but I'm sure the Supremacy was still flying after they blew it up.
Yeah.
You know, it was still there, and like that ship wasn't anything to play with. So I'm excited to see what they do, you know, because they need to kind of bridge that gap of like, okay, Leia had all these allies and nobody she texted everybody and nobody got back to her. You
and
know?
I think we'll see that in Rise of Skywalker too, because I figure she probably, if they were that desperate, I'm sure she called like Lando. And so why didn't Lando answer then, and then why is he like chilling with him now? Like
Exactly.
You know? So I wonder if like Resistance will. I'm sorry. I wonder if Resistance will delve into like why didn't people answer during Last Jedi? Did something happen to the signal? Did the First Order intercept the signal?
It could be the signal. It could be the fact that maybe at the same time we're watching The Last Jedi, that the First Order actually mobilized through the galaxy. So like they were invading all these different planets, because I mean that's what we found out in. Did you play Battlefront 2?
Yes.
Yeah. So like in the extended thing or the DLC for Battlefront 2, like Iden and her daughter are on one of the Star Destroyers, and they find out that the First Order is huge. Like they have ships everywhere, so they could have been invaded. I mean, we're seeing now that they invaded Kashyyyk.
Yes.
In one of the Star Wars Adventures comics or whatever. So.
Yeah, I think the Resistance, because in season 1, I think most of the foreshadowing with what's the First Order doing was mostly around Starkiller Base, because they're talking about they're getting the Kyber crystals, they're like digging up in all these different planets. So then in like season 2, I think we'll see like how much they're spreading and like what they're doing in that regard.
Yeah, very true.
And if they end if the show ends after Last Jedi, no matter how far afterwards it ends, I wonder if we'll see like what's going on now that Kylo is the supreme leader.
Yeah.
And Snoke is dead.
Yeah. No. Very, very true. It's gonna be
as intimidating as Kylo is. I don't think he's a good leader as far as thinking things through.
Yeah.
You know,
he's very short-sighted. I would say.
Not that I care about how well the First Order does, but if Hux would have actually shot Kylo like he was going to in Last Jedi, they would have
destroyed the Resistance.
The First Order would be better off.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want that to happen, but like just saying.
Yeah. I think we'll see a power struggle for sure.
Yeah.
Because we're already kind of seeing like some of the First Order is an older. It's the Empire, you know. It's the older dudes from the Empire, and then there's this new generation that comes along, just like, oh no, we're taking over and whatever, and people are gonna have a problem with that.
Yeah.
Like Pride, is it Pride?
That's
gonna be in it. Vice Admiral or something to that effect. But I'm sure he's an old Imperial,
Yeah.
so he's gonna have an issue with Kylo.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, and not even that. Like, just we saw when Kylo and Hux were both just like these little underlings of Snoke. They were already struggling for power together.
Oh, they butt
And I
heads,
think
yeah.
just those two together, with Kylo in charge now, and Hux, maybe Hux will get a little bolder, or maybe not, because Kylo kind of threw him around for the duration of the Last Jedi.
Yeah. He shut him down pretty quick at the end, which is I still chuckle every time he just hits the wall.
Well, like I don't like Hux, obviously, but like I almost felt bad for him the Last Jedi, because Kylo's just like, nope, get out of the way. Like
Yep.
Hux spent a lot of his screen time in the Last Jedi getting
Slammed
just
into a
getting
wall or on the
beat
ground.
up.
Yep. Exactly.
Like, I almost felt bad for him.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna see that power struggle, and Hux could even be someone who would not defect, but do things purposely to try to bring down Kylo that then affect the overall First Order, because he obviously hates him.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Well, like, we know from like the Service of the Empire series that the whole Stormtrooper program was from Hux's dad.
Yeah.
And then we know from the Phasma book that Hux had his dad killed. So clearly, Hux has no problems just kind of like taking things over from people and doing things like behind the scenes to get power.
Now, with these Sith troopers popping up, obviously we don't exactly know what their deal is. I think they'll be linked to Palpatine.
Yeah.
And that fleet we see of old Star Destroyers, I think they'll be there. But we heard Kylo say about the clone troopers, like perhaps Leader Snoke should consider using a clone army. Do you think the Sith troopers are clones? Because I totally do.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
It could be possible.
Now-
I wonder, see, this is like, I know it's not going to happen, this is sort of like where my brain goes, because we know that, is it Kix? Kix is the clone.
He's alive.
That he's alive, which he could show up in Resistance, because Count Vidian was in the trailer
Yep.
for Season 2. I would love for him to do that, and it would tie Clone Wars to Resistance
Exactly.
closely. But if they're clones, we could
Are
have
they
Kix,
Jango Fett clones?
Or are they Jango Fett clones? Could we have Kix, like I know they won't do it because the majority of the audience would be like, who's Kix? Why is there a clone trooper? What's going on? But it would be really cool if we could have Kix just be like there to like help, like, oh yeah, they're clones. Like, I think it would be cool.
Well, if they're... So obviously that fleet was put there during the time of the Empire, because they're Imperial Star Destroyers. So Palpatine could have already just had them cloned in like frozen carbonite or stasis or something like that.
Since they're Sith troopers, could they be Maul clones? Because
I don't want that.
that would be cool.
Just
Just like a bunch of Ray Parks.
when they get into cloning Jedi or like Force
Yeah.
users, it starts. I mean, you weren't even alive yet when Luke was a thing.
I heard
Luke
about
Skywalker's
Luke.
clone. Yeah, you remember? I'm sure your dad remembers that, but there, some of the expanded universe old stuff like Legends now was great, and some of it was just like, wow, that was bad.
Whole
Like,
House Ekwesh.
Yep, exactly. Oh man. Well, I think we're about to wrap up.
Yeah, we don't want to.
So go ahead, Zoe.
All right, so I'm in the Star Wars Geek Girl podcast. I have these cards here. You can follow us on Twitter at SWGeekGirl. Is it on?
Hello. Hello.
I think it
I
died.
think it did.
All right,
Hello.
well, I'll just speak really loud. So the Star Wars Geek Girl, you can find the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. Just look up Star Wars Geek Girl. Same thing for Facebook. You can just look up Star Wars Geek Girl. On Twitter, it's at SWGeekGirl. So follow us there. Listen to the podcast. I'm also a Mandalorian now.
Yeah.
I have a cough. And yeah, if you want to see the tattoo I was talking about, follow me on Instagram at Spectre5. That's not a Star Wars Geek Girl thing, this is me. But yeah.
Sweet. And you can find Rebel Cause at Rebel Cause Lancaster on Facebook. We're on Instagram under that same name. You can find our podcast, Rebel Chatter, what I do with my co-host Jake Stetler, which is my father, at rebelchatter.com and on iTunes. And yeah. We'll be in both of our feeds, yep.
Yeah, definitely.
So iTunes, and then iTunes as well.
Yeah, iTunes, SoundCloud for us as well.
Spotify,
Oh yeah, Spotify.
iHeartRadio, you're on.
Yeah.
And it'll have better audio because the audio is on the
Yeah. We have 2 audio things on the table.
Yeah.
So,
Thanks for listening, guys.
yeah, thank you.
Mike, I don't know if we want to try and find somebody from the con, but this is dead. So I'm sure for the next people, they're going to want that charged.
Sorry, I only heard part of it. No, I got one. Thank you.
Good.
Which college do you go to?
I go to Temple University.
Okay, yeah. My daughter goes, our daughter goes to Moore College.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I only heard the part about going to Keystone and that was
Yeah.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I went to Drexel for my graduate degree, but I didn't live there. I commuted
Yeah.
partially from Elizabethtown, so.
Thank you for stopping in.
Star Wars geek girls. They're geek girls that like Star Wars. And sometimes cry.